Miami. Located in South Florida, it's one of the largest and richest cities in the world. Known for its nightlife and party atmosphere, it's a very interesting place to visit, to say the least. We took a different approach when we visited Miami in January, so if you're like us and you're looking for things to do during the day in Miami, then this video is for you. Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. You might notice that someone is missing. Timothy's actually working this week on a movie and can't film with me, so it's just me today. In today's video, I'm so excited to be sharing the best things to do in Miami. I'm going to be sharing our favorite things that we did in Miami itself, things we did in the surrounding area, and also a few of our favorite restaurants. So let's jump right in. So for those of you that don't know, we are very much budget travelers. We love finding free things to do and also cheap ways to see cool places. Miami can be a pretty expensive place to visit if you're not careful, so we had to really pick and choose what we did since we were there for a whole month. Honestly, we aren't huge fans of big cities, but neither of us had ever been to Miami before, and we really wanted to explore the family-friendly side of what it had to offer, if you know what I mean. If Timothy were here, he would tell you just how much he hates winter and the cold in general. So that's why we decided to go to Miami in the first place. We drove down right after the new year and stayed for the whole month of January. If you guys are interested, we can go more in depth about RVing in Florida in the winter in another video, because it was a lot different than we expected and pretty expensive. We ended up staying about an hour away from Miami itself, so we were only able to go explore the actual city a few days of our trip. But here are our favorite things that we did in the city. Okay, so the first place I want to tell you guys about is the Miami Beach Botanical Garden. It's a public garden located right in the heart of Miami. It's totally free to visit, which is awesome. They have a ton of different gardens based on different countries and the plants that grow there, and it's really well done. They also have a cafe and a huge lawn with chairs and a fountain, and it's just a great place to chill and let your kids run around or just enjoy some sunshine. We had a great time exploring the gardens and taking photos and seeing a ton of unique plants and trees that we'd never seen before. We would absolutely recommend this one if you're looking to have a chill afternoon while in Miami. The next place I want to talk to you guys about is somewhere that you've probably seen on social media at some point, and that is the Miami WYNWOOD Walls. Located slightly north of Miami, WYNWOOD is a modern and quirky town full of innovative restaurants and adorable shops. But that is not even the best thing about it. The best thing is that almost every surface and wall in WYNWOOD is covered with amazing murals painted by local artists. There are murals of everything, from the kids from Stranger Things to beautiful florals to basically anything else you could imagine. We had so much fun walking and driving around and enjoying all the unique murals. There are also several companies that have tours that will take you around to some of the better known murals and explain the meaning behind them and answer any questions that you may have. This is one of our favorite places we went to while we were in Miami, and to make it even better, it was totally free. We also hit up a couple of the local restaurants while we were exploring. The first one was called World Famous House of Mac, which was gourmet mac and cheese, and yes, it's literally just as delicious as it sounds. They have all kinds of wacky variations of the traditional mac and cheese dish. We got the chicken parm one, and it was so good. We also went to a bake shop called FIREMAN Derek's. I'd heard that their pie was to die for, so I knew we had to try it. They charge about $7 for a slice of their pie, but it's so rich and filling that that's all you need. We got a slice of their Nutella pie, and it was so unbelievably good, I can't even describe it. There are a ton more amazing restaurants in WYNWOOD that we weren't able to try while we were there, so we would definitely recommend going to WYNWOOD if you're looking for places that are less expensive and more family friendly than the restaurants in South Beach and downtown Miami. Now this one may seem typical, but there's a reason why South Beach and the surrounding Art Deco district is on almost every must-see list for Miami. We would definitely recommend going during the week if you can. We went on a random Tuesday and got a great parking spot near the beach, and we were actually able to enjoy it without it being super crowded. Miami, and specifically South Beach, is well known for its nightlife, but that's not really our scene, so we found some fun things to do during the day. There are a ton of kiosks where you can rent bikes along the beach walk, so we decided to do that for a few hours, and we had a blast. We rode all the way down to the Art Deco district, which is a collection of over 800 brightly colored buildings built in the 1930s that are all within a 1-mile radius. We would absolutely recommend renting bikes, since driving around that area can be tricky. And when you rent bikes, you can actually stop and enjoy the unique architecture and culture that the Art Deco district and South Beach has to offer. We also went out on South Beach briefly, which was still pretty crowded for it being a random day in the middle of a school week. But we actually spent most of our beach time at a beach north of South Beach called HAULOVER Beach. Wow, I literally just said beach like 10 times. But the water at HAULOVER was just as beautiful and clear, but there were no crowds and we were really able to enjoy our time there. Everything that I've mentioned in this segment was free except for riding bikes, which is always great. The last place that I want to tell you guys about that was actually in Miami is the VIZCAYA Museum and Gardens. We spent several hours here and absolutely loved it. It's a pretty expensive place to go at $26 per person, but in my opinion, it was totally worth it. This house was built in the early 1900s in the Italian style, so when you go in, you literally feel like you've been magically transported to Europe. It was built right on Biscayne Bay and is surrounded by beautiful symmetrical gardens and buildings. The inside of the house was pretty impressive, but the gardens and the outside of the house were definitely our favorite. Like I said, we spent several hours at this amazing place and it was absolutely worth the price.